Just give us your assessment of that first, please.
Oh, I think they're the best side in the comp at the moment, and it showed today. I think a little bit of a baptism of fire, I suppose, for young George, and not only him but the right edge in particular. I thought we could not tackle Mikey Lewis. Look, I had the pleasure of coaching for one or two games at Yorkshire under-18s, and I know what a special talent he was then. But he's an unbelievable player. But I thought our right edge in particular really struggled with him. Him and Tangano when he came on as well, which we know they're a really dangerous side. They've got strike, they've got a really dominant pack, they've got 2 9s that are unbelievable, really good arse, good strikes on an edge. But I thought yeah, as right edge in particular has probably really struggled handling them today.
That second half in particular, how concerned were you with just how one-sided that was?
Look, probably the frustrating thing for us is, although Ulkie are a wonderful side, and they are a good side, we once again though, when you complete at 50%, you're just not going to win. You know, you don't win games, and we completed 50% in the first half. I actually thought at half time we'd done an extremely good job. When you complete at 50% to only be 16-4, I thought we're good from the lads. I thought they tried extremely hard, worked extremely hard just to stay in the game. But inevitably that tells them when we went out in the second half again, and we completed a little bit better in the second half at 60-odd%. But inevitably it just tells. It just tells it. You know, we can talk about the second half once again as folding. But I think that started in the first half with his completion rate. The amount of work that we did in the first half just told in the second. And fatigue setting.
I think when you look at the scoreline like that, it's naturally hard to take. How are the players in there? What have you said to them?
Well, there's a lot. We've got a lot of lads sat on the sidelines. We've got a lot of experience. We've got a lot of us as key personnel sat on the sideline. But it's an excuse. We've got to find a way. We don't get a lot of them back. I think there's a bit of light on the horizon with Joe Greenwood and Kingy, but Wolford, Clooney, obviously Niall's out for a long time, and Russia's spine, they're going to be a little bit longer, so we've got to find a way of managing games, of scrapping 2 points, just scrapping a win any which way. I thought the effort were great in the first half. I don't think it was a lack of effort. I just think it was a lack of smarts and skill. Skill really let us down, and probably his smarts. I thought the way we turned the ball over were really detrimental to what we were trying to do. You know, whenever we got in good positions, we either just dropped the ball or a real poor turner, we dribbled the ball into their hands and Mikey run 70 metres. So rather than having a controlled start, putting them in a corner and making it hard for them, putting them under a little bit of pressure, would release the pressure by just basically turning the ball over cheaply, and from then, like I say, they'd make an half break, and when you don't control the players 1 and play 2, they're a really tough team to defend against. And I thought our set starts, the way we turn the ball over, were naive to say the least.
Just on that aspect, how do you go about combating that? Because I imagine if you had an Adam Clune, for example, he'd be the one that would be taking control on those last players and having a bit of those smarts. Do you put that responsibility on a different individual, or do you change the way you attack? How do you go about?
Yeah, it looks really tough. You know, I think everybody watched the Wigan game. Particularly in that first half. Clooney came back, and we had a real control about it. That's his job, and that's why we brought him in and brought him from the other side of the world to be that controlling half. You know, it's very difficult. George has obviously played a lot of fullback in his early years, and he's put him to half back. And that'll come with experience and age. 2, he's naturally, an off the cuff player. A very good player in that role, and Gags is someone very similar. Then you go to your 9s. He's not played that much of his career at 9 at Ascolden, and Deeks is only young, so youngish in age. So we are obviously missing that little bit of experience, that little bit of guile that can guide us around the field. And we spoke about placing different responsibility in different people's hands, and trying to change a little bit of the way we've played. we've been tinkering with that. It makes it very, very difficult again when you don't have a settled spine, when you don't have a settled team. It's no coincidence when you don't. You even look at the likes of Wigan who are the best side in the comp. When they lose Jay Field or Bevan French or anyone of that nature, they find it a little bit more difficult. So it's a difficult proposition. It's something we've got to figure out fast. I think me and Finney have spoke about which way we're going to go about in the next 3 weeks, and hopefully we can nail that down.
On the injury front, Adam Swift and Tui Lalehe, what's the sort of early signs with those two?
Yeah, Swift ate with his head, so get a little bit of a tell on him. He's been struggling a little bit with his groins as well, so there's a little bit of that going on. He's had a little bit of groins, had a little bit. He's been real lucky. He offers us threat on the edge of Swifty. So if somebody's vital to us, he's Swifty. So we need to wrap him in cotton wool. But he's had a few little different stuff going on with his hamstring and his groin and his head. And Tui Lalehe, his calf, which he's had over the past couple of weeks. He's been sort of just getting the tightening of the calf. So we're just hoping at this stage it's just something similar once again. Fingers crossed.
I know it must be so frustrating when, again, you come in here after every game and just talking about fresh injuries. Can you remember at any point in your career as a coach or a player seemingly just having this awful run of luck with injuries where you get 2 back but you lose 4 as it is this week, for example?
No, I've never experienced it in my whole career. At Wigan, at Huddersfield, I spent a little bit of time at Cass, at Salford. We had tricky patches. Never something as significant as you probably starting 13. Definitely you starting 13 having so many key individuals within that. So no, it's been, probably sums it up for us a little bit. We brought in Aidan Doolan, young hooker, give him on a trial period. Thought see how he goes, see how he fits in. Seemed to be fitting his train with us for a week. He broke his metacarpal in his finger. Metacarpal, yeah, in his finger this week. So we wanted to have a look at him, and unfortunately for Aidan, he's got the curse, the Huddersfield Giants curse. He's come in. We've had a look at him this week. We're really looking forward to him playing today because the reserves played before our game. So we're really looking forward, just seeing if he, had a bit of value to the squad. He seems like a really good kid. Showed some good touches, and I think he's going to be about 4 to 5 weeks now with these. So he's nuts. It's nuts.
Is there anything that you can do internally to try and negate that?
Oh look, we are constantly looking as an high performance staff. We are constantly looking at what we're doing in training, what we can do different, how we can. There's certain little things that we think we might be able to help in certain aspects, but when it comes to like breaking your metatarsal, when it comes to Niall, who looked unbelievable in training for 20 minutes with us, the glimpses that he showed in the Salford game, and ends up just walking off the field at half time and says the foot don't feel right. Turns out his metatarsal that he broke, you can't even remember how he broke it. When you go through the things like that, it's very hard to fathom. It just seems like freakish stuff at the moment. So it's I don't know what I've done in a previous life.
You've got next weekend off, obviously, so you've got a couple of weeks now until your next game. What will that look like? Will it, if nothing else, just give you a bit of a chance to take a stock check of where you're at?
Yeah, a little bit. Look, we sort of as a group we decide when you get knocked out of the Challenge Cup final that we're not going to be having time off. We're going to be working hard and we're going to be training hard because that's the only way we can get the 2 points. I've been in this situation at Wigan and at Cass and at Huddersfield and Salford and everywhere I've played. You work your way out of it, you defend your way out, you work your way out, you train hard. It's a little bit difficult at the moment because when you've got lads limping off, you've got to find an happy medium. We need to put the hard work in, 100% we do, but when Tui's got a bad calf and other players have got little niggles, Matt English been nursing a shoulder for the last 3 weeks. Like I said before, Swifty's been nursing a groin injury for the last 3 weeks. It's a little bit about taking a little bit of stock and making sure that we have them players available in the next, when we play next. So it's fine, happy medium.
And will that period allow you to? Will it give you scope to potentially bring any new players in, be it first team as experienced ones or younger kids like Aidan, for example?
Yeah, look, we're constantly looking at this moment in time. In a salary cap sport, it makes it a little bit more difficult. It makes it a bit more difficult to just bring players in. I'd love to be able to just bring 3 or 4 fresh lads in that can really bolster the squad and help us deplete the squad at this moment, as it is at this moment in time. But yeah, it's a little bit harder. That's a talk that I'm going to have with Andy Kelly, over the next couple of days, because it'd be nice just to bring in some fresh bodies that can really help us, whether that's on loan, on trial, for the remainder of the season.
Cheers, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert, just on some of the errors,
Yeah.
it must be very hard for you to come up with solutions, because I mean some of the errors are genuinely just fundamental basics. Like what are the players saying about them? Some of them are just mind blowing.
Yeah, they are. Look, I don't know if it was sticky spray, for example, that got caught trying Rushton's hand, but it's a turnover. Nobody's been tackled. We literally got past the ball. He put the ball on the floor and the ball came up in his hand. I'm not sure if that's a sticky. I've not spoke to him yet. And a sticky spray, but things like that. Just when you are playing against a red hot OKR side and you've not had much ball in that second half, you withstand a fair bit of pressure. You think, right, it's our opportunity to put a bit of pressure on them, and nobody's been tackled with the ball. We pretty much just go scrum 20 metres off our own goal line. You've got to defend against a good attacking side now. He's really frustrated, and it is suicide. It is, and that's not the only one. There were countless errors. We just pretty much give them the ball. His turnovers were horrendous.
It's why you're doing it as well. Like, don't think there was one either half in your own 10.
Yeah. We turn the ball up when you turn the ball over and you're up inside your own 10. It's not even if you can see that set. It's the amount of energy that it takes out of you in that set, because generally what happens is they'll turn the ball over in the corner at a bare minimum. Will the top teams, if they don't get a repeat set, they turn the ball over in the corner, which them are even more difficult to get out of their energy zapping sets. They drown you. You turn the ball over on the halfway line. You once again defending, coming out, and we've got to learn. We've got to learn quick. We've got the answers. We just need to start putting it into practice. It starts in training. A lot of the individuals are coming after the game and putting their hand up. Look, the group are a really good group. The group of men that are attached to the Giants, they are a good group. They're a good group. They are working extremely hard. We just need to individually get it right. We need to individually get it right, and that once the individuals start doing their job within the side, what Craig Bellamy talks about all the time about just doing your job. I think once we start putting individual performances together, and we'll start as a collective putting it together. And if we can start doing that before some of them, the injured lads come back on board, then we'll be better for it.